Hello friends, today I am going to start one of the most important topic of class 11th, class 12th, or you can say for JEE students, and that is function. So today's topic is function. So for function, let me take one very simple real life example so that you can correlate basically how this mathematical function is related to a real life function. So let's take one machine. Let's take any machine. So what happens in machine? You take some input that is basically called a raw material. And what does this machine do? This basically processes this raw material and then create outputs. Okay. So the role of this machine is basically to take some input as a raw material and then does some kind of work inside the machine. Basically it has some kind of algorithm by which this input passes and then we get output. Okay, so this is a simple case of any machine. So what happens in mathematics also, the function is also in the same way. You basically define some function. Let me take a very simple example. Suppose it is y is equal to x square. So here y is equal to x square. If you put x is equal to 1. So here the input is x is equal to 1. So you get output as y is equal to 1 power 2, that is 1. So for input 1, you are getting output as 1. In the similar way, if you input 2, x is equal to 2, you will get output as, if x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2 square, that is 4. So output is 4. So for every input you are basically getting some output. So there are some important terminology are defined in the function. So that is I am going to explain. So first is called domain. Okay. Second is called codomain. And third important terminology is called range. So domain, whatever you input provide, that is called domain. So here, if you take this example, 1 and 2, you are providing as an input 1 and 2. So this will be called as a domain. Okay. What is codomain? Codomain basically, what are the possible output can happen. So suppose this can be a real number in this case. So any real number I can say is the codomain. This is basically all the possible outputs. And in range basically the exact output, whatever the output comes. So here there are two output is coming, 1 and 4. So this is called range. Okay. So this is the simple concept of function. It basically takes some input, process it and gives the output. And there are three important terminology are defined, that is called domain, codomain and range. Okay, moving to the next part, we will see how function can be represented. So function can be represented in many manners. So first is called, you can say arrow diagram. So the example which I had taken just now, y is equal to x square. So how do you represent in the arrow diagram? So here if you put input 1, it is giving output as, so here your function is applied, that is called fx. That is fx is applied. So for given input 1, this function is processing as 1 square. So this will give 1. Suppose you are giving 2, so it is giving 2 square, that is 4. So here 1 square, here 2 square. Suppose you are giving input 3, so it is giving 9. So this is arrow diagram. Basically here you represent domain here and codomain here, and you start mapping each element of domain to corresponding element of codomain. Second method is called tabular form. The second way to represent any function is tabular form. So it's tabular form. So what happens in this case? You basically create a table. So suppose your function is fx is equal to x square. So how do you create a table? This is the second way. If x is equal to 1, 2, you can put some value here, -1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. So you will get fx 1, 4, 1, 9, 16. So this is the tabular form. Okay. In the third form, basically, that is called, you represent in ordered pair. So you can say as enumerated, ordered form. So same thing, you can define something like that as function f 1, 1, 2, 4, -1, 1, 3, 9, 4, 16. There is another way to define this function, that is called graphical form. So in the graphical form, the same function, in graphical form, you basically plot the same function in Cartesian system. So here your x-axis, y-axis, x dash, y dash, and you plot fx is equal to x square. So this will come out something like that. Okay, so there are 4 ways to basically represent any function. First one is the arrow diagram. Second one is the enumerated order form, and third is the tabular form, and fourth is your graphical form. Okay, coming to the definition part of the function, how do you exactly define? So let me take one very good example. Suppose in set A, you put some state's name. Suppose it is Uttar Pradesh, MP. You can put Punjab. Okay. And here you can put some capitals. So it can be Patna, Lucknow, then Bangalore, Chandigarh, Bhopal. So in this case, if you start mapping, so UP, so Lucknow is basically capital of UP, Bhopal is a capital of MP, and Chandigarh is a capital of Punjab. So here you see each state has only one capital. So in the function definition, there are 2 things important. The first thing is that each element of A should have mapping. Each element of set A should have mapping. And the second condition that UP can have only one capital. UP cannot have more than one capital. So in the same way, in function also, one element can have only one mapping. So each element of A should have exactly, or you can say one and only one mapping. So these 2 are very essential conditions for defining a function. Okay, so I'll give you one or two examples. You can very easily see that those are function or that is not a function. So let me take one example. Suppose here 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is given A, B, C, D. Suppose I give mapping something like that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is the first case. In the second case, suppose I give 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. Okay, this is the second case. Now see the third case. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. Here you are mapping something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So if you see the first one, the second one. In the first one, 4 is an element basically which does not have any mapping. So it violates the condition. So it is not a function. In this case, as per the second condition of the function, each element should have only one and only one mapping. But here 3 is violation because it has got 2 mapping. Here you see 1, 2, 3, 4. What happens here? Each element has a mapping. So first condition is satisfied. In the second condition, 1 has 1 mapping, 2 has also 1 mapping, 3 has also 1 mapping, 3 has mapping as a B, 4 has mapping as C. Okay, so this satisfies the condition. So sometimes what happens, there is a confusion that sir, in the B we have got 2 mapping, so that is allowed. The condition says that each element of set A should have unique mapping. So 2 has 1 mapping. It's not like 2 has 2 mapping. This is not allowed. 2 has only 1 mapping and 3 has also 1 mapping. It might be possible the mapping is same, but you have to see set A. So that is the condition you have to see here. Okay.